GM, wake up, let's go. Web 2, Web 3, stay in the know. Action, Dabatola, Toki in the zone. Breaking down the latest, straight to your phone. From Web 2 shifts to Web the waves. News, deep dives, hot takes for days. Tech's evolving, the world's in spin. Markets move, let's lock it in. Genzio's here, no time to snooze. Tune in now, get the news. GM. Wake up, let's go. Web 2, Web 3, stay in the know. GM, start the show. GM, wake up, let's go. Web 2, stay in the know. GM, start the show. GM, let's go. Web 2, stay in the know. GM, start the show.
GM, happy Monday, everyone, and welcome back to another stream. I'm joined with Action today. Toki had a few things to do, and I think we're going to talk a little bit about Bitcoin, altcoin, crypto, all that stuff, the institutional shift, why Bitcoin's going to explode, and Action's already shaking his head.
I don't want to talk
altcoins, not
altcoins,
against
man.
Bitcoin explosion. Action.
I just don't want to talk altcoins. They're hurting a little too much.
All right. You're shaking your head at the altcoins. It makes sense. Yeah. I mean, look, what can I say? We saw a little tiny bit of green because Bitcoin has gone up to 107.5 basically, right? But whenever we have these candles just, going into the weekend, altcoins kind of take a further dip. I don't know how much more left there is to squeeze out of them, honestly. But the more people I talk to, the more the mentality, people have really been beat up over the bear market and into this bull run. And everyone's starting to say the same thing. I'm going to make sure Bitcoin is a bigger part of my portfolio. And I'm going to DCA into that. I'm going to try to reduce my altcoin positions when I get towards profit and even know a few people that cut their losses already because they see more potential in either Bitcoin or some of the larger larger market cap alt caps. So we'll see what's good. But already, check this out. We got a bunch of people joining on YouTube, which is great. We're live on YouTube. Make sure to smash that thumbs up, reshare, drop a comment, talk to us. We'll pull some stuff up. We'll have some fun. We're also live on Rumble, Kick, the Arena app, Genzio's X account. So we are everywhere trying to make it easy for you guys to join in. But yeah, man, liking Bitcoin's price and liking the movement up. I was talking in a space Action this morning with Doodle. And if this was a couple years ago, war would have affected this price a lot more. And I think this little bounce up after the beginning of this conflict that was going on is a good sign for Bitcoin, at least. Now, I feel that the flip side to that is if by chance this was to escalate and the United States was to be directly pulled in, then all bets are off. Market will definitely feel it. But I think that this time around, considering some of the global events, institutions mainly are keeping our prices or keeping the price of Bitcoin up. What do you feel? What do you think? Am I going to get some support on this or no?
I slightly disagree. And here's why.
Right. Let's lay it down.
I think you're right about right now. But what I'm thinking is that last time this happened, we were dealing with Ukraine. And we did have a dip when things were announced, when things kicked off. Everything dumped about 25%. But over the weekend, we came right back up, and we had pretty decent gains. So like that's what I was actually hoping. So it was better last time than it was this time, because the bounce back happened just a little tiny bit faster. We had altcoins
this time or last time?
Last time, more than people realize. There were some altcoins that were literally we dropped.
Whoa. I'm not talking about altcoins, because altcoins are like, I think all bets are off on altcoins right now. I mean,
problem.
I'm talking about strength of Bitcoin and how, considering, I'm going to look, and maybe you can see it over my shoulder here a little bit, but 108.4. Well, yeah, about 108.4, and then drop down to its lowest in the matter of 6 hours or so to 102.7. So that isn't considering, like, that was a 1.6%, I think, maybe a little higher from what I remember when I looked this up, and then right back, recovered half of that, and now on Monday we're essentially back from where it dropped. So I think Bitcoin's able to take a hit or two in the global market with news.
Oh, for sure. I don't doubt that one bit. I agree with you there. The problem is that last time this wasn't during a bull market.
No.
It was 2022, right? So the market was a little bit different, and alts were not hurting as bad, and weren't being as impacted by the price of Bitcoin. But you're right. I'm not disagreeing with you necessarily. I'm just saying, like, things were different last time. We tend
I like your air quotes, though. I like your air quotes around.
We tend to look at the past and go, wow, I walked backwards in the snow, uphill both ways to school.
You know
like,
what? No. You know what we got to do is, probably for tomorrow, I'll try to carve out some time today and go to TradingView, get some of these charts and zoom them out a bit and compare this sort of our altcoins, because we're gonna be able to start to see this. I think this little change in the cycle, especially now. People,
agreed.
I didn't have sentiment change like this with altcoins last cycle. I don't know. I think things are a little different. We're gonna see. I'm gonna look at some charts and maybe I'll pull something up. But
you just said, let's see what these are. By the way, not sentiment, but you just said what they are. Right now, altcoins are just sediment, not sentiment.
Yeah, they're just laying there on the bottom. But let's see who's here in the chat. Say what's up. We got Blue. Is it better for us to watch on YouTube or X? I think when we respond in StreamYard, it goes to both. But I do have YouTube open, and well,
that's the answer.
That's the answer in here. Yes, both.
It looks like we have. It's not going directly to X, by the way, Scott. Just so you know. So the X, we do have to reply manually.
All right. GM to a bunch of people joining from X and from YouTube. So, oops, that's not necessarily the best comment to say for, hey, how you doing? But yes, I agree that the situation is bad all around. I'm not going to get into the politics of both sides. I just don't think war is good in general. And I think it would be a lot better for our crypto market and the price of our Bitcoin if people were getting along and we could just move forward in adoption there. So, yeah, look at this. Lord Carp, altcoins are dead already. Yeah, I mean, I don't feel like I'm going to generalize this and say that they didn't recover, because there's a couple launched during the bear market that did well. There are a few that I don't want to say have recovered, but they're not at their all-time lows. But a majority of the rest are not doing well. They are dead. And as far as the chart's concerned, as far as activity, and even a lot of them as far as building, like, and if you don't have development going on and people adopting and using it, then you're not going to get anywhere. And I think Ash and I are definitely in agreement that this cycle's sort of changing from that speculative to revenue based, where, you know, in the past you could have a project. I'm not saying a meme coin, just in general. You could talk about it, drum up hype, people buy in, and then you keep kind of feeding that and keep saying what you're going to do. And next thing you know, a business that probably would have gone out of business within a year or two is around for 5. I think this cycle is gonna stop that. A lot of those are not gonna be able to coast through the next year or two. and we're going to see a lot of projects go. We'll see a bunch come in. I looked in the news, and as far as corporate companies, it was like 60%, but there was another few that were looking into blockchain, but there was a few big ones that came on. There's even some talks about, their stock price was doing horrible. GameStop, right? I think I even have that article right here. Let's see. Can we add my screen? Let's see if it works out.
I'm going to duplicate this. I got you.
You want to add it?
I'll take care of you. But yeah, keep going. I'll get it up here.
No, so GameStop, and we've heard this, hints at buying Bitcoin, at next get Bitcoin. Now with their stock doing bad, do you think that this is a good move? I feel like if they get Bitcoin on their books, a lot of it, and Bitcoin does significantly well and doesn't have a retracement, this allows them a lot more time to be in business, a lot more strength, and maybe they could rework, I hate saying this, rework just their model so that, I don't know, I think that their brick and mortar store and some of the things that they've done, I'm not completely up to speed, isn't actually all that profitable anymore. So maybe you go back to the drawing boards when you have a
what do you
safety
mean
net.
They offered me 50 cents for my, what is it, Marvel versus Capcom PlayStation 2 CD.
Look, the best thing about GameStop is the videos that come about on TikTok of people going with like cases that have fake names and getting the reaction. That's what I personally love. So
there's something for
we have Jake here that's saying these guys won't invest currently.
They just did, didn't they?
Yeah, but not. This is talking. He's proposed a $1.75 billion bond deal, and then how much is this going to go into Bitcoin? Let's see. Announced to propose a private offering 1.7 of convertible senior notes on. Oh, so they're looking to just drum up money to go in. I don't know. I wonder if they did ape in, how this would affect, what's that guy's name? I can't believe I can't even think. The kitty, Roaring Kitty.
Yeah.
Would he come back out of nowhere again and start tweeting? I don't know if there was any tweets recently. I'm not following him, but would that change the scope of things? Maybe. I don't know.
I don't think he's been necessarily. He's been more active on Reddit, to be honest. But he hasn't posted anything on here since the 22nd of January.
Okay, yeah. So it has been it's definitely been a minute.
It's been a minute for sure. Yeah, and stream wise, like it's been even longer.
I'm trying to think what else really off the top of my head as far as this Bitcoin price like and strengthen, and actually with the title institutional shift that could 10x Bitcoin. I really feel that in order to push that price up quickly is going to need that. And right now we've seen lots of things. I think something new is Trump Media was registering for like a $2.3 billion Bitcoin treasury strategy.
Yep.
So there was I think I have a couple more articles.
What about Tron, dude? Did you hear about the Tron news?
Oh man. So Tron, God, what was is their IPO?
Merger. Yeah, they're doing a reverse merger.
Yeah, they're doing a reverse IPO with SRM and something to do with Trump financiers, right? There's some Trump money behind it.
There is.
It's going to mirror like a Bitcoin treasury.
Yeah, but that's the big news that like somebody that was being gone after is now launching a publicly traded company in the U.S. Like that's huge.
Well, the crazy thing about him also is that he was the largest. He on purpose became the largest holder of Trump's token so that he could be right there front and center for that the dinner and the meeting. And I mean, talk about like if you could just flash and go back a handful of years, that's like looking forward at the Twilight Zone, right? Like you're like, wait, what is going on here? You have this person and the president.
People don't know what the Twilight Zone is, Scott. That's
I'm a bit dated, and I did have a birthday the other day, so I'm even more dated, but I'm quoting like even Twilight Zone is old for my age. It was like all black and white. So anyways, it's just a show that if you don't know talks about weird shit.
It's old Old school Black Mirror. That's what it is.
But yeah, crazy things are going on. And, you know, being that you brought up IPO, I'm curious. Let me see in the other tab. I'll just try to pull it up. What's Circle's stock price right now? Because their IPO, excuse me, their IPO was a lot higher than they expected. I know it hit a good amount and then dropped. Wow. Okay, hold on. What's the screen to share this? Is it the second one here?
I mean, we dropped $10 from their all.
Yeah, but you gotta bring this up. This I missed. Wait, I mean, you gotta add me here. What's this? Is this it? There we go. So look at this. 155. I mean, today it was up to 165, but on the one day, like, all right, let's back this up.
It's up 15%, dude. That's kind of wild. That's pretty darn good for something to just launch.
So I'm really interested to follow this. And when Bitcoin moves. So if we get a nice leg up and we get Bitcoin to push to a new all-time high, are we going to see huge jumps in this? You know, I think it's very, very possible. This is new and it debuted and came out in the IPO like twice as what people thought. They thought like in the 30s, maybe 43, 44. I think it was like 60 something. Yep. So whoever got in on this, great. I personally am just invested into really crypto. A couple other things from years ago that just kind of set it and forget it. But I should be a little bit more on top of this. But I definitely want to keep an eye on this and see where it goes.
No, it's definitely a great opportunity there. Like,
that's good.
We got to figure out what happens, because you got to remember, like, these guys are making money when crypto is not doing so hot. It's when people go to stables, like that's when they're generating revenue. So there is that as well, Scott. I mean, I think that, you know, markets pumping might not necessarily be the best thing for Circle. It's not like it's going to hurt necessarily, but when people get out of their, you know, their beloved altcoins and bring it back to stables, that's when these guys are smiling from year to year, because they're making money every time you put money into USDC, essentially.
Yeah. And I was just about to sound like I had feedback there for a second.
No, you're good. You're good. Sound good. I mean, you could have sounded better, but your mic is like, you know, 20 feet away from your face, and you refuse to do one of these. So
wait, is this better now?
It's fine. This is better.
What's better? Oh, well, I have the mic here, but I also have this one here.
That's the one you should be using.
I know, which you can see, hold up, is not hooked up. All my stuff is still in a suitcase from the last 3 or 4 months when we've been traveling all over the world for the setups for streaming. And yeah, now that I'm back for a few weeks, at least I'm going to get things in order and get that set up, have some videos and whatnot.
Gnarly weekend, man. Gnarly weekend, I'll tell you. Like, my computer is dead. Like, it's not put away where it's supposed to be. It's literally on my desk because I had to troubleshoot it. So we've all had our fair share of tech snafus, I guess you can say.
Yeah, last week I had my computer crashed with the power, and the backup battery had like basically died, and then it threw everything on my computer off, and then randomly it crashed again 2 days later, and everything was back to working and normal. Yeah, it was the most crazy thing. But I will say, if Bitcoin keeps moving up in price like this, then,
you're buying me a new computer. Let's go.
You get a computer. You get a computer. We all get computers. No, yeah, and with that, I will say another piece of news regarding Bitcoin that I saw that was pretty interesting was Bitcoin treasury strategy across North America and Asia. So now we're starting to see this Bitcoin treasury strategy being talked about more so than just here in our bubble and expanding out. So they're going to launch a strategy here for all of their companies' capital allocation. And yeah, this is going to be pretty good. So we're starting to see a lot more of this. And this is, if you, for example, a good news aggregator that I like is the cryptopanic.com.
I was about to say that thing I did last time. You're like, just give me the look.
But no, if you pull that up, and you can just see the amount of news that's coming out, the amount of company institutional news about companies buying Bitcoin, it's pretty mind-blowing. And then you also have like Solana with this ETF. They're talking about staking in the ETF. It'll be the first, I believe, spot ETF that has some sort of staking built into it.
Yep.
So I'm curious to know more details on that. And we mentioned the other day that the SEC asked for updates on a lot of from a lot of these companies, which is a good signal that they're trying to kind of fast track or move this forward. We saw this right before Bitcoin's. There was like 2 or 3 of these that happened in the course of, I don't know, maybe 2 months prior. And we're seeing this now. So that could signal for possibly approval for these in July, and then make them live possibly by fall. I don't know. We'd have to get a little more information. So
I will say that what I've been hearing in regards to the ETFs is that it is very, very bullish for altcoins, which is a very different sentiment than anything else out there.
Well, Frank is saying the SEC is on everyone's neck, and why? I think that the SEC is actually kind of lifted chasing a bunch of people and dropped a bunch of lawsuits, and which is great. So I feel like maybe they did actually, relieve a little pressure on people. I don't know. What do you think, Action? I mean, it doesn't seem. I mean, more people are willing to do stuff in the United States and are aiming for that. So I think that there's
back, guys. Come on, that's tell you something. But here, I have actually the news to be able to. I don't want to say prove it, but it's an opinion piece. So ETF filings explode in 2025, heating hopes of an altcoin summer. And I'm just going to scroll down to a little chart. It talks about things that are like being put on there, but altcoin ETF applications filed with the SEC in 2025. I mean, this is a pretty extensive list. So we got Near, we got SWI, BNB, Say, TRX, Polkadot, Dogecoin, Solana, Pengu, SWI again, AVAX, XRP, AXL, Aptos, and then Solana again. Like these are pretty quote unquote reasonably known names in crypto. Normies have no idea what they are. So like for us to see these kinds of names going out there and being put in front of masses is pretty bullish for altcoins, to be honest.
It's so hard to have the word bullish and altcoins in the same sentence right now. Not trying to be that guy and bring that hope down, but it's rough out there. It's rough out there in altcoin world.
Thanks for replying on Arena, by the way. I love them. You're like, are you guys actually here? Are you doing this thing? Or is this real?
No, we are. The thing is that we're trying to make sure we push it out to all the platforms that, so everyone has easy access to view and join. And StreamYard only allows us so much interaction with these different, different sources. So I'm trying to hop around in the browser. So definitely leave a comment. We'll get to it. And yeah. But also make sure to smash the thumbs up, share the stream, and subscribe if you haven't on whatever platform you're watching. My alt bags are down since 2023.
Mine too.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Yeah.
I will say not all of mine are down, and I think, I'll be honest, it's because some of them I aped in, just happened to ape in when it was like at the lows, right? The thing was it picked back up a little bit last year, like not this April, the April before in 2024. And I'm like, all right, this looks good. And then it just came back down to the low. So not technically losing money on a few.
Round tripping.
But I just did a small little round trip. Hey, wild. It's all right. It's all right. What else do we have? I feel like it's so crazy for a Monday, sort of just blew through a bunch of different things here, but
we got people caught up. How was your weekend?
I was kind of slow. I think not like, I mean, just here, doing some work on the computer and around the house, but the market's kind of boring, like you have the conflict and it goes down for a little bit and everyone's kind of, and we're just like, oh, look at the altcoins further bleed and then kind of recovers, but we're chopping up sideways pretty much all across. So
that's exactly where I was going with it. It was just boring. Like it's not even worth logging in at times. It's like, okay, we're doing the same exact thing. Yeah.
See, DCA with alts is the best. And well, I just agree with DCA is the best. You know, whether you've been around for a long time or whether you're new to it, especially if you're new to crypto, the easiest thing to do while you're getting up to speed and learning this is probably just DCA into Bitcoin and some of your bigger alts and just get your feet wet, get in there and then start learning, start, you know, tapping into streams, spaces, looking up videos, reading and stuff. And that way is easy. Kind of set it for forget it, you know, either at a time period once a week, or if you're a little bit more finger on the pulse, if you see something retrace a certain amount of percentage, you know, somebody's like, oh, if this retraces 5%, I'll throw a little bit at it. So there's various ways to do it. And then you can have the different exchanges put it on a schedule for you. So it's, yeah, you just do it. But I agree. Look at this. I'll give you guys some alpha. Buy Hyperliquid. Hey, Lord Carp, you know, we've seen a lot of attention towards Hyperliquid lately. And who was the one doing crazy amount of leverage trades over the maybe a week or two ago?
Yeah.
Win. Let me see. Is that the account? The Win. Let me see. It might be James Win, but it was on Hyperliquid. So I agree. There's a lot of attention going there. I haven't used it, and I really should check it out a bit more.
It's super safe, guys. Like, you're never going to lose any money.
Ooh. What from March 28th. Well, be careful. Oh man. See, I like to see stuff like this. You know, my hype bags are up. Damn. Like I love to see, especially, you know, where most of the market isn't doing well, on the token prices isn't up, that somebody is up on their bags. They got in at the right time or traded it right or held onto a moon bag and they're up. One thing I will say is a lot of people, they're looking for these big gains, but don't have an exit strategy.
That's true.
You know, and that could be as simple as figuring out a way to scale out during a time period that you're making money. And there's nothing wrong, you know, really, if you're up, there's nothing wrong with taking some chips off the table. And I know firsthand action does as well. When you're in the heat of the moment, your bags are up, you doubled or tripled your money, you know, you think this is going to keep going. You're trying to see other stuff. And next thing you know, you round tripped it. So it's always good to pull your initials out. You can always take some chips off the table, you know, and treat yourself or reinvest into there. But it's always great to see and hear that people are up. So definitely make sure to comment your wins. Like, we want to know what you guys are trading, what you guys are investing in as well. And, you know, the best way for everyone to win here together and do well is that we all, you know, help each other out, educate each other, and try to provide value and not extract that value. So Andy has a question we got a lot of people on X today. Chad, what token do you guys believe in? You know, I'm going to let you go first with that action.
Why? You want to say
I believe in Bitcoin, but outside of Bitcoin, what else is there? Because you have a big focus and you are very knowledgeable on DePIN. So there might be some underlying token that, while it's not known to everyone else, it's doing good as far as service, and it's going to produce revenue, and token price might go up. Or maybe we're talking about something flip side on the complete other side, like an RWA play, that something like Big Red, where they're invested into horse stables, and that's growing and the horses are starting to win. And there's a lot of action there. It could be that kind of token, which initially was a meme token, but now RWA. So
I still like to call it a meme token. I still like calling it a meme token just for funsies. I like them a lot.
No, I love it's memeable and it's fun, and the cartoon aspect and everything that's generated is great about it. But when you boil it down to what they're doing, it's all RWA. I've went to the horse race myself in person. I've seen our horse race, and there's so many more. So they're doing a lot of stuff. So, but to the original question. So about to the original question though, what token you guys believe?
By the way, was it fun?
The horse race? Oh no, it's awesome. Think like to go and know that you're part of ownership and involved in that. And like, I'm on there streaming, and yeah, I just hope I could go to one, you know, coming up soon, where there's a win, so I could get a photo in the winner's circle and do all the other great things.
We do have a lot of people from Big Red actually in here. They shared our stream out without us saying anything to their TG, by the way. So let me throw them a bone. Check this out. I'm pretty happy with my Big Red token right now.
Oh man! So there's a couple people. There's a couple people that aped in
last week, dude. Over last week,
there was. I want to say there was like $30,000 or $40,000 worth of buys that came in two separate things, like buying something like, $25,000 buy on there, and people are loading up because they know what's coming. And the thing is besides the token, having staying power, like I said, it's RWA, and it's producing. That's the thing. There's races that are winning. You can go and tap in and see if you're part of the holders. You can see the revenue breakdown in like a shared sheet. Like if you're a holder of that NFT, you can see what's going on, and they got a lot of stuff planned. And I'll be back up in that area to be part of another race soon and go to the farm. But yeah, token price up like 50 or 60%. Really good RWA project. And so that goes back to the thing is like, what kind of tokens do you believe in? Obviously we believe in Big Red, and that's an RWA play. So Andy, you should check that out. But otherwise, in the bigger scheme of things that majority of people might know if you mentioned it, what do you think?
I was hoping that AT&T would do something here in the short term. It has been kind of disappointing because I knew it dropped like everything else with the war and all that. But I was expecting a really quick rebound from it. Not getting what I was expecting. It's not nearly as good as I was hoping. I do have my sights continuously right now on Quai as far as mining is concerned. That's a big one for me. Okay,
I don't want to give financial advice, but Quai is at a steal of a price right now.
Oh yeah.
If you went and did your, do your own research, but if you went and you dig into Quai over the last couple years and look at, when people were starting to get involved early on, there's an entry right now that you would have saved some time with your money locked up. And even with it, it's up 20% today. And, that's like a whole cent, but realistically it's at 6, almost 7 cents. It was at like 9 or 10 a couple days ago, and it was just at 5 something. So I think excellent project to get in. This is one of the few that have come about as we started this bull run that we're developing in the bear that I could see really making waves. And like I said, I just think it full disclosure, I have some. We got in. We bought in around this earlier. So this is a great time to get in. I see it doing big things, but shout out to Quai. Sorry to interrupt you with that big rant.
Why you're not interrupting me. You're just, pretending
excited about it.
Pretending that it's my picks. And then I was like, oh yeah, that's my pick too. I like them.
Yeah. No, that's a good pick. It's a very good pick.
A lot of times we'll be around the same stuff too. So like if we're really excited about something, we talk. So obviously we're gonna be in alignment in some of these things. Check out useless. Is it useless? Some people in?
We got people in the trenches. Hey, look it. We got people in the trenches. I spent all of last year in the trenches, really a little bit of this year, but I like to hear those things because I do go and check them out. And if chart looks good and things kind of line up, you'll see me pop up in the Telegram because I'm really big on community, and a lot of projects, they're driven by community. So if I'm getting involved or looking at it, I'll jump in there, and I try to be as active as I can with as busy of a schedule that we have. But appreciate it, just
Interesting.
We got Post in the house.
Oh, Post is here. What's good, brother?
I know what Post's token is, and I'm big on that one as well, which is Hedera.
Yeah, no, I have a little bag of there on the side. Like that's one that I know for a fact that it's gonna make moves here. There's no question in my mind about that. I really just want to really long this thing like crazy at the right time. I don't even know how else to describe that. That's really like the dream right now for me.
Is what, to get that one long and then the market just takes off and just keeps running.
Yeah.
I forget if we were talking about this, but the other day this conversation came up, and it was more like if that happens, to make sure you're doing it on the right exchange, because there's several of them that you have a trade open for like a month, and regardless of them making money on the fees every so many hours or whatnot, it'll be the only exchange that you see the huge candle that just wicks and just stomps everyone out or makes everyone take their profits or whatnot. You're like, I had this trade for 6 weeks. I'm up like, whatever, $3,000 and blah, blah, blah. And then you're like, I didn't want to close that.
I need to reach out to Chris. Like, yo, Chris, how do you do it? How do you get people not to close you out?
Well, I guess it's the thing is, something just happened here.
Got a little bit more dramatic lighting going on right now, I guess you can say.
One of my lights went out, but the thing was, how my backup power had messed up the other day.
Yeah.
I was like, I heard a beep, so I thought like everything kind of went on the backup. So give me a second. You could take the screen over.
I can join you. I can do half lighting too.
No. We're not going for like, I'm gonna tell you a story about, like some Halloween story right now here.
Why not?
Because I don't know. Here we go.
He just takes himself off. No, it's been awesome, dude. Like, I can't complain one bit about being in this market. It's one of those things. Yes, some of my target prices may not be hitting, but hey, who cares if we're overall not drowning, right? I think that's the main thing that people forget about. Like, we're just at the cusp of things. I don't think that the summer is going to be that great. I think summer is going to be a little bit dreadful, I guess you can say, for especially altcoins. But I do see a little bit of hope for the fall. So it's a matter of like right now accumulating, and in my opinion, being able to find things that can actually generate tokens. So I love mining. If anybody knows me, knows that I love the mining aspect of things. Welcome back, Scott. And if I can generate revenue or generate tokens now while they're worthless, so that I can cash out during the fall when they're worth something, happy day for me. That's the way I'm looking at it.
Funny, the comment about I should get a generator. I have one that's not like attached to the house at all times for, storms. But one thing that Texas weather has taught me is that I definitely need a generator. So no matter where I go next, because I'll be moving sometime in the near future, I'm going to have the house on a fully backup generator. And then I'm going to have a much stronger backup battery supply as well, because just tons of power issues where I'm at. Oh, so, hey, do you see this one? If you love mining, do you know anything about this?
Cusco? Yeah. Emperor's New Groove. Great movie, guys. So I know about them. I haven't really checked them out. I think they were saying like it's a zero cost GPU mining thing. I literally have them on my list to look into last week. Didn't happen. So now that I got the Lord Carp reference, I'll definitely do my due diligence this week, maybe today even.
So we're gonna have to check it out.
Wait, what is it? Inference Net.
No, this is the great thing about people tapping into the stream. As you drop a comment, we'll definitely look into some stuff. We can pull it up on, we stream Monday through Friday at this time. So love to be able to pull some more stuff up and actually get a little bit interactive with what's going on. Because like I said, I really want to know what everyone else is looking at. Like, we sometimes have our blinders on and kind of get focused on a few different things or a couple projects, and then you're working and your personal life and all this stuff going on. It's hard to be in all these different sectors in crypto at the same time. So when we get to do these streams and help each other out here, we look to you as well to tip us off. And whenever we have alpha, we will make sure to share that too. And I'm not sure if anyone here, I don't know if I'm going to make it, but I'm not sure if anyone in the chat is heading out to Permissionless or NFT NYC. That is next week. And both events going on the same time. I know there's a lot of people going out. And if you are, leave a comment as well, because you connect with some of the other people here in the chat. And if for some reason I do make it out, I'm going to try to see if there's a horse race. And if so, have a meetup to try to go to one of those races.
What? And you're going to stream? That sounds fun.
I always try to do that. I jumped in the watch party they were having. The reason why I didn't stream myself that night when I was at the track is because I didn't want to compete against the watch party. Like we were both, let me just hop on to the watch party and add my screen in there a bit, or if it was vice versa. So we'll see. We'll definitely going to have an outing to the track at some point. And it's easy, especially if you're in New York for an event and just go right up to Yonkers. It's very, very easy. So here's some more. We got people talking about mining in here.
I'm looking them up right now. Actually, I'm going through it.
Look at this. So the stream isn't even done yet, and Action's already like pulling this up in the background and probably diving in, and that's good. I'd love to know some more projects like that. I'm not mining myself at the time, but Action keeps nudging me to set up a little bit.
So following the right people on X makes a huge difference. I'll give you an example of this. So this W.AI, it might seem like, oh yeah, it's nothing or whatever it is, So when I go to these things and check out, like they have a very small following on X right now. But looking at who follows them makes all the difference in the world. So follow by, and here these two people. So Tactical, he's always front running me. So I just copy everything he does in his video, make my own. Then you also have Hans. Hans is another good lead just because he's the lead ecosystem lead at IONET. And IONET is the largest, GPU provider because they aggregate. That's really the truth there. They just aggregate everybody's GPUs, and then they get to make the claim that they're the biggest ones out there. I got a jacket from them. That's all I care. I got some swag, so I'm happy. But if those guys are like following a project, that gives me more confidence to, this is definitely something to be looked at. So who you follow matters on X. Like that's kind of a crazy thing to say, but if you're following somebody that actually has quote unquote alpha, or is connected to that alpha, ring, you can say, it makes a difference because it lets you know, like those are early signals of like, hey, you should be looking into this thing. And a lot of the people that I follow, they happen to be the people behind the companies themselves. Sure, you have like, for example, IO.net, but when it comes to Hans doesn't have this huge, ginormous following. Like he follows more people than follow him. But I know for a fact if Hans is talking to them, there's something there. There's something to be looked at. So focus on that.
Well, you know what everyone should do is they should definitely follow you because you have your finger on the pulse with everyone. And it's an easy way to see what's there because you share out all this as well on your X account. And I see Blue here asking about the dates for the horse races in the comments there. They tend to just come up like within a week prior. But as more and more of the horses are racing, then we'll start getting see more of a schedule. Like if you just happen to go up there, you'll have a better chance because when we had just one horse racing, we wasn't sure if it was going to be weekly or every few weeks. When there's a handful that are racing, there could be multiple in a week. So as we move forward, that'll happen. And we'll just have to tap in with Big Red and see what they say. And we'll get the latest on that, but we'll definitely know. And look at Jake is saying, my PC can't handle these GPU stuff. It's crazy. And GPUs are expensive and people are setting up, just rigs with them.
The GPU I'm running on was paid for by ETH, man. Like I'm still running it and it's great. It's 3090. I paid like $200 basically, the 100 some change over retail, and it's been killing it. Like I've been happy with it. Merry Christmas, by the way.
Yeah, my Christmas cup. I don't know, for some reason, I just love this cup. Like not the graphic, but just sort of the shape, and I don't know. So yeah. Christmas in June.
I will hit up estate sales for you.
Hey, well, we're in Vegas, right next to Ken's place. That attached to it, they had amazing things in there. I got besides getting a really cool old coffee cup for my girlfriend because it had the graphic and the phrase on it was very relatable. I bought this little print, which I thought was just pretty cool. There was something that just jumped out about it. So, I supported the business over there. And we supported Ken and his venture, and that's awesome what he's got going on in Vegas. And I can't wait when we go back probably in August for Rare Evo to see how much
we're going back in August. When is Rare Evo?
I think it's in August, and I'm pretty sure we're going back. You know, I was on a call earlier this morning.
Throw a side event for my birthday there. That's what I was thinking.
I was on a call this morning with a client or talking about a client, and they were saying, hey, could somebody come to Vegas? And I was just like immediately nodded, like no, because the amount of trips that just came from there and the dry air just kills me. I was just like, I don't want to, like, no, I know I'm going in a couple months. Like, no, I'm someone else, please step up and help our client out. So someone else is booking a ticket for Vegas right now.
I flew out there for a client like that, like on a limb.
Yeah, but it wasn't something that anyone from the team could do. It was more just like, hey, a helping hand, like we need a favor, not there's an emergency and we need, you know. So look at this. I like seeing this. Benji, Bitcoin to the moon. That's right. Right now we're at 107.7. And I am hoping that we see by the end of the month at least push through to a little bit of a new all-time high. I'd like to see this sort of us start trending more up. So by the time we get through the summer and into the fall, we could get to that range where people are talking about, you know, 150 to 200K for Bitcoin. Obviously, I'd like to see that a lot sooner. I'd love to see just a whole bunch of people pile on by, lots of big news, and this just run up. But usually if things really, really run up fast, you get a hard retracement. So I think if we just push to a little bit of a new all-time high, some people will take profits. You know, we could kind of do this stair step way up and get to those numbers by later this year. See, this is where I disagree with 200K, maybe in the next 5 years. I'll be honest. I disagree. I think we will see 200K. I want to say this year. Like, I really think that we could double up this year.
October.
October?
You want to put a date on it? I'll put a date on it. October.
Yeah, I think last quarter for sure. 2026 probably will be rough. Depends on what they do with the rate cuts and things coming up. If they do any, could hurt us in 2026. But 5 years from now, maybe this is your first time catching the stream, but we've talked a lot about, you know, the last few weeks, especially coming back from Bitcoin Vegas. They talked to Arthur Hayes. Yeah, we talked to Arthur Hayes, and Action had an interview with him. And Arthur Hayes is saying, what, 1 million by 2028? And he gave a very good explanation at the Bitcoin conference, like of different points about what kind of market cap, what kind of money had to come in to do that. Now, a 10x on Bitcoin at what we're at right now in 3 years, to me sounds like, wow, that's very, very progressive. I don't know, very, very like, that's a lot. But his argument of how much money could very well come in, you know, across the board is strong. So I'd love that. I'd love to see that. But I sure think, I think we're going to see 200K and then maybe, you know, a pullback, you know, this cycle. So, and someone is saying, Frank is saying 1 million is kind of impossible in 3 years. Oh, where can we get that slide from the conference? Hold on 1 second. Do I have a photo of it? I'm going to check. I'm checking my phone right now to see. Oh, I can't read this one. I have one picture. I'm trying to zoom in on the actual slide from the photo, but there is a slide, and maybe Action's kind of actually looking for it.
I am looking for it. I don't know if I'll find it.
Specifically goes over Arthur Hayes's points, several bullet points of how we see that million. And hopefully you could find it, because, you know, not to say you guys are wrong. Like, we don't know what's going to happen. I mean, I actually think that's a very, very big price. Like, I would think, you know, based off of the logic and how many companies coming in and governments and things, like, I would say a safer bet is more like 500K. 10K isn't easy, Scott. Can't happen so easy. You mean like 10K or $1 million? I don't know. I mean, yeah, look, if anything's going to move forward, I think with this is going to be. I mean, look at Bitcoin's been leading the way.
All right. I didn't.
You found it.
I didn't find it, but I just want everybody to see Arthur's face. He's so funny, dude. When he laughs, he cracks me up. It's a genuine laugh every time. It's like, what's up? All right, that was it. I'm done. I'm gonna keep looking for it.
No, I was just doing a search myself now, and the other thing being that you decided to see here 2 weeks ago, Bitcoin Magazine, the man behind $1 million. I don't think I'll have volume in here. Let's hope not. That it doesn't screw up the stream. I'm gonna see if I can get to a part. Oh, they show. Here we go. I'm gonna find it right now. Actually, you want to?
Yeah, scroll through it.
That's no, fine. Yeah, let me find it.
That's what I'm saying. So go ahead and scroll through the video so you can find it. But yeah, that slide basically broke it down. Ultimately, like, yes, you can make any prediction based off of any charts if you're really gonna try, but this wasn't him trying to stretch the truth. He was like, hey, this is kind of a projection. This is what I'm looking forward to. This is what I'm actually excited about. It's not like he's just making stuff up on the fly. Plus, he's got another business to go along, and nobody gives him the time of day when it comes to his other businesses. But I asked him about it. So like his other businesses will do well if Bitcoin does well. So it's in his interest for him to be correct about the stuff, not just be making things up as a lot of people in the space do.
This is kind of funny.
Go ahead. You gotta share. You gotta share that tab.
Why isn't? Oh, it's in the. Hold on a second. Oh, we're gonna have to go back. Yeah, I'm in the wrong browser.
I wonder how many people actually know what that is.
What?
That's an old one too.
Take this off.
Porco,
I love the title of this. Okay, here we go. I love this one slide here that says the effing maths. Estimate on the amount of dollar liquidity created from now until 2028. Increased bank lending to the real economy of $3 trillion. Bank purchases of treasury bonds, $900 billion. Fannie and Freddie liquidation injection, $5 trillion. Total of $8.9 trillion. What else do we have? I'm trying to see. There's some really good stuff in here. There's, I believe, even another one that went into very. Well, you know what? I encourage everybody to check this out because as we're getting towards the top of the hour and we're gonna have to stop, just go to Bitcoin Magazine on YouTube. I could also link this here in the chat, I believe. And I can check this out. Let's see if it comes through right.
It went on a few places. All
right, so we'll see. If you get a chance, check out what he has to say. Now, let's just say this, for example. Let's hopefully we could all agree on one thing. We would love to see $1 million within 3 years for Bitcoin, right?
Oh, yeah.
Despite what's going on to altcoins right now, if we had a 10x in Bitcoin in the next 3 years, a lot of our altcoin bags, I feel that we were holding, especially our bigger market caps, will also be doing well. There'll be a lot more adoption. We'll see then at that point, a lot more people interested in the tech and building and a lot more development too.
Some will be non-existent, but others.
Yeah. I mean, it'll pull people in that once you kind of start, I started with Bitcoin and I'm invested into everything at this point in crypto. So
you got to share that exit liquidity across the board, right?
Got to keep round tripping these bags.
There you go.
Yeah. So let's see what Blue said here. Just for 1 million is possible and will eventually happen. But right now it's pure hopium this cycle. Yes, definitely this cycle. A lot like XRP hitting 10K. Oh man, so I didn't see this part.
Way less.
All hopium, but the difference is XRP will never hit 10K, while Bitcoin will hit 1 million. See, a lot of normies or people who are involved who found XRP, they always see that and they do the comparison to Bitcoin that it's going to be worth thousands and thousands, and you just got to look at the market capture and the tokenomics and things, and you can see that the math doesn't add up.
The math doesn't math.
But if you look at Bitcoin, I mean, we did the math one time where I forget what the dollar amount was. It wasn't 10,000. It was less than that. And it ended up being like you needed the world's like market cap of everything. It was completely impossible. So while there is money to be made, I think more people are hoping that this cycle will produce and push it closer to $8 to $10. I still think that Bitcoin has that growth. You could see it. You could look at the market cap of gold, right? 22 to 23 trillion. Look at the market cap of Bitcoin. If we look at this as being it's a digital store of value, and that's what people treat it as, a digital gold or whatever, and are taking it in. Don't you think at some point that the market value or market cap of Bitcoin should be at least that of gold? What happens when real estate money and all different other sort of things come in there and start chipping away at these other asset classes? They start, deteriorating a little bit, and it goes to Bitcoin. So you just do the math. Do the math. If you're at 22, what's our exact market cap of Bitcoin right now? I mean, we'll be at $1 million Bitcoin then.
All right. So this is like when I want to come back to reality, I go to marketcapof.com, by the way.
Is that like a compare market cap?
Yeah.
Yeah, there's another one. I think it's called like compare market cap, but this is great. All right, yeah. So
XRP, if XRP had the market cap of Bitcoin, it would be at $36.42, and that would be like almost a 16x. So yeah, 10K for XRP. No way.
Yeah. Oh, look,
it just puts it into perspective,
Welcome, Bobby. We have a lot of people that are active on X and joining in, and that's awesome. Make sure to subscribe or sub and repost, share a comment, follow this guy Action right here. He's the man. And if you're on any of the other platforms, YouTube and whatnot, please do us a solid, hit that thumbs up, and sub. Helps with the algorithm, and gives it a little more traction. But we do this every day now, Monday through Friday. 11 to 12 Central. Tomorrow, I think we will have Tokia's back, and we'll have all three of us. But make sure to, like I said, drop a comment, reach out to us, let us know if there's anything you want us to look into or pull up. Try to give you a little bit of the latest news and some insights onto some of these other tokens. A couple were mentioned here, which I will check into and kind of report back. I don't know. My opinion, I guess you could say, what I think.
Yeah, I love the fact that XRP is not even at its all-time high right now. It's way far from what it was. I do this a lot, actually. Like when I want to think about things, like this is H bar, in comparison to XRP. So it'd be like a 20x if we were looking at what the price of XRP is now. But if we're looking at all-time highs, it'd be like 28x.
Wait, hold on. I gotta stop you here and address something. Crypto's crazy, bro. I love it. Tupac, you're the man. One of my favorite artists of all time. And I believe today is his birthday, or would have been his birthday, at 54.
Really? 54?
Yeah, you can double check. And that's the thing that's crazy is if you think about, sorry to go on this music tangent, but if you think about his music and how long ago, he passed away, the young age of what he had done at that point during, hip hop, acting, all that stuff is pretty amazing. But I believe today is his birthday. He would have been 54 years old. One of my favorite hip hop artists of all time. Actually, probably my favorite. So,
and you're old enough to.
So respect to Tupac on YouTube. Maybe that's him, Machiavelli in the house. If so, please donate Bitcoin to all of us.
Wait, is the address down there?
I'll make a fresh address if you want to donate. Any last words? What's he saying? Yep, that's very true. Sharing info with people around the world, and definitely would not be. I wouldn't be connecting with as many people if it wasn't for crypto. Wouldn't have met Action, Blue, lots of people that I know that are in the chat joining us. And which reminds me, if you're here, check out the link tree or the link in the description if you're on YouTube, or my link tree on, I guess, my personal X account. There is a free public Telegram that we have going. There's maybe like 30 or 40 people in there.
Yeah, that's going to be fun. We should grow that out, Scott.
Yeah, we should get some more. Jump in there, sub, and get in there. Let's see if we could can we just pull a link?
That's put it in here. I am trying to do that right now. Actually,
yeah. and we'll talk about different tokens in there, and then we can pull some up on stream and all that fun stuff. So let's see if we can get you a link before we're out of here. Well, it's on the link tree for sure. So it's on Linktree. There we go. Ooh, how did that get much bigger? Look at that.
I made it a banner.
Wow, look at that. It's a banner. So yeah, it's on there. There's a free what's it called? A free Telegram. And
we're doing a giveaway this week, guys. Make sure you're joining and you don't miss out on that big giveaway. How much are you giving away?
Well,
hey, what's up?
But it's not something Gensio is afraid of.
If you want to survive, you got to build a
how
hive.
many know we do not understand? Ladies and gentlemen.
Rebecca's Gensio Media House.
Awesome. Well, thanks so much for joining us today.